What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for being here today. In today's video, we are gonna be comparing a $90 barbell versus a $300 barbell. So this is the Rogue Ohio Power Bar. This is the basic barbell from Rep Fitness. So I wanted to go over the functionality, the experience, and my overall recommendations as to should you actually spend the money on an expensive barbell, and does this have any use in your training? So let's get right into it. Now, if you guys like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Drop the video a like and turn on those post notifications. But I should preface all this by saying, I am not one of those barbell connoisseurs that has like 5, 6, 7 barbells in their home gym. In fact, I only have these 2 barbells as well as one rackable curl bar from Rep Fitness. All 3 fantastic bars. I'll leave them linked down below. I think they all have their purpose. But when you start thinking about which one is right for you, I think there's a few things that will come into consideration here, which we'll talk about throughout the video. But when we start talking about functionality, in my opinion, a barbell is just a barbell. They both weigh approximately 45 pounds, and they really shouldn't affect your training at all. I'm of the belief that you should be able to have just as good of a workout with the cheaper barbell as you can with a more expensive barbell. So when I think about that Rep Fitness basic barbell, and I've used it in my training, while there are some downsides to it, there's not like a major difference that I can tell with my strength levels, with my form, with the amount of things I'm able to do with it. So when it comes down to the functionality of the barbell, you're really gonna get the same kind of workout, and there's no reason you can't make the same amount of progress with the lower cost option. And if I'm being honest, this Rep basic barbell exceeded any expectation that I had for it, because when I saw the price for $90, my expectations were honestly very, very low. But you can see it's got a pretty nice finish. I've been using it for about 2 to 3 months now. The knurl on it is not great at all. But again, you're only paying $90. And the reason that I got something like this was really just to have a beater bar, because I knew I had an expensive barbell. I did not want to get damaged. So things like the landmine, or if there's ever an instance that I want to, drop the barbell for any reason, this is what I would utilize. And I think it has a purpose in everyone's training if you do decide to opt for a more expensive barbell, because when you spend more money, you're gonna wanna take care of it. And I'm not saying like, I want anything bad to happen to it, but if something happens, then, I'm only out $90, so I wouldn't feel too bad about it. And also, I really don't wanna make this video a Rep versus Rogue comparison, because it's apples and oranges. You can get a higher quality Rep barbell if you so choose for around the same price as the Rogue Ohio Power Bar. This is just a selection that I made, and I really wanted to talk about what benefits you get from going with something that's a little bit on the higher end, because this Rogue Ohio Power Bar is an absolute beast. And this is not even the most expensive version. I like the black zinc just from an aesthetics perspective, but the stainless steel is over $400. And there are barbells that go upwards of $1,000. So is it even worth it? Well, I hate to say it, but the knurl on this thing makes this bar just feel like anything else that I've ever trained on. And I've really prided myself on being able to train in any kind of environment. I've been to commercial gyms, I've been to powerlifting gyms, I've trained at home, I've been lifting for a very long time. And while you don't need the best equipment, of course, it's just kind of nice. So when you grip this thing, it's almost like you are one with the bar, as corny as that might sound. It is machined so well, it looks fantastic, it just feels better. So if I have to choose between this and a basic barbell with my training, as long as I'm not putting the bar in potential harm, I'm gonna choose this 10 out of 10 times. So the question then becomes, is it worth spending 3 times as much for a better looking, better feeling, better experience for a barbell? And that will really be individual. And I know there's a lot of people out there who pride themselves on going with the lower cost options. And I see all this online chat about, you could just strap rocks to sticks and go out and get a great workout. You don't need this fancy crap, and really look down on people who buy expensive gym gear like myself. As you can see, price is not my buying motive when it comes to gym equipment. I have a Rogue Monster rack with these lever arms, so one of the most expensive options you can go for. But for me, I'm not looking to save the most amount of money when I'm buying gym equipment because this is my biggest hobby. This is what I love to do. I'm out here 5 to 6 times per week, and this is the area of my life where I choose to invest. For you, maybe it's your car, or maybe it's your house, or maybe it's a different hobby that you have. I think we all have that one area that we like to splurge in. And this is, for me, where I'm willing to spend more money to get better quality, to improve the experience of my training sessions. It really goes back to the car comparison that I know we've all heard some form of before. You can buy a Honda Civic or you can buy a BMW. Both are gonna get you from point A to point B, and they will both get the job done. Well, with the Honda, you might not have as much fun driving it, whereas the BMW, the performance machine, you might enjoy it a little bit more, probably a little bit more aesthetic, maybe take a little bit more pride in it. But at the end of the day, they're there to do the exact same thing. So if you have the extra funds and working out is a big hobby of yours, I'd encourage you, just go the extra $200 and buy a nicer barbell. I didn't really touch on it because I can't speak to it, but it's more than likely gonna last longer, I would assume. I have no evidence to back that up because I've only had that rep barbell for a few months. It's held up great, but you have to assume that the quality isn't going to be as high as a more expensive barbell. However, if you're a newbie just starting out, or if you have limited funds right now, or if you're just a minimalist and you think you can get by with the bare minimum and be just as happy, then by all means, you are not going to be disappointed with that basic barbell. In fact, if I were to utilize that day in and day out, I probably wouldn't even remember the difference. And after a few days, I would miss the way that Rogue bar feels in my hands, and I would just get back to training, not think twice about it. So I really hope this video was helpful to some of you guys out there. I know when you're buying home gym equipment, it can become very overwhelming because there's so many different options. But really, when you take a step back and you start to think where you're gonna allocate your money, I think it becomes a lot easier of a decision, because if you're running out of money in the budget, you'll always know that you can opt for a cheaper barbell. But if you have the extra funds and it's something that's extremely important to you, then you have that option as well to get something that's a little higher quality. And just remember, you can always buy and sell things. The home gym market is gonna be around for a very long time, so it's not like you're ever gonna be stuck with one option. And if you have the ability to do so, it might not be a bad option to have both. That is what has worked very well for me, so that way I don't have to worry about putting that in the landmine, or if Megan wants to come use a bar, I don't think she's gonna like the strong knurl of the power bar. But these are all just my opinions. If you have any other questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'll be sure to get back to you. If there's anything else that you want me to review, I am thinking about making another investment in the home gym, which I think would be a big improvement. A little bit expensive, but it's just part of it. It becomes an addiction, as you guys know. But thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to watch. I mean, you could have been doing anything in the entire world, and you chose to spend a few minutes with me. That is pretty awesome. Please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I look forward to talking to y'all next time.